Okay, guys. Sorry, I got caught up. I had a little technical difficulty. Still having it. Can't get one of my external displays, this bad boy right here, to show up for me. So give me just a second to get my head on right here. And we didn't talk about Madeline Soto today. And I know everybody's already, well, just about everybody has already done the 896 page document dump, but I haven't done it. So today we're going to dive in. This is going to be episode one. We're going to get as far into it as we can until I just can't go anymore, and then we'll come back another day and pick up where we left off. So I'm not going to show the document itself because there are some really sensitive things on there, and I don't want to disrespect Maddie by having that type of information shown on my channel, even though we all know, and since we all know it's really not necessary to go ahead and show all that again, like the descriptions of the pictures and stuff like that. We know some horrible things happened. We know Stephen Stearns did it. We all got an imagination. We can use it. We don't need to hear he did this with this on this day and just repeatedly. Um, so let's get started. The first page of this document. And again, I haven't gone over this by myself. I started reading it. Turn this just a little bit. I started reading it, but I stopped because I'm just going to be honest. I don't want to read all these pages twice. I really don't. One time is going to be enough for me because, as you guys know, I got my own past experiences and I don't need to subject myself to that a bunch of times. So, but you will hear my opinion from the side of a survivor here and there. And again, it's just my opinion. I don't know what was going on in Maddie's head. I don't know what was going on in her abuser's head, in her mother's head, or any of that. I can only tell you my perspective, having been through a very similar situation as Maddie's. So again, that's just my opinion. First page, and this is from the state attorney of the Ninth Judicial Circuit in Orange and Osceola County, Florida. Reference, defendant, Stephen Michael Stearns. This document is dated June 11th, 2024. And it has the case number. It says, if requested, records contained any of if the requested records contain any of the following confidential and or exempt information, it has been redacted or withheld pursuant to applicable law. And those items are going to be active criminal investigations / intelligence information and or substance of confessions if applicable. So we're not going to be able to hear anything that's of a confession nature with Stearns or with Jin. Attorney work product, and we all know that that's just information that attorneys gather, in the process of working their case. It's called work product. So it's like their notes. We won't get that. Autopsy photographs, audio recordings, and video recordings. So we won't see anything from the autopsy, not the report, no videos, no notes, no anything from the autopsies. Department of Motor Vehicle information kind of tells itself what it is. FCIC, NCIC records. So we won't see anything from the databases that the police use to track and identify and all that stuff criminals. That's the National Crime Information something. And that's basically where they run your name through there. They can tell if you got a warrant anywhere. They can tell what your past criminal record is, all that good stuff. We also won't see Form 52, clinical record and or medical information and or EMS records or forensic behavioral health evaluations. So we won't see any of that stuff. And guys, you gotta forgive me for looking up like this, but I have on the wrong glasses, so I have to kind of like be bifocal, and they're pretty tiny on these glasses. So that's why I'm looking all weird, looking up at the screen. Where are we at? We won't see identifying information of confidential informants. If there are any in this case, we won't see anything dealing with them. Identifying information of victims of sexual offense and or child abuse. So that's why Maddie's name is going to be redacted. That's why we aren't going to be able to read about a lot of things about her. One of the theories that's been going around is that Maddie might have been pregnant, and that might be what precipitated all this, the murder and the hiding of the body and the everything that followed. So if she is or was, we won't know that until trial. Identifying items sealed by order of the court. So anything the judge seals, we won't get. Surveillance or security camera footage. If there is any, we won't see that. All that stuff will be shown at the trial. Now, the next page is a supplemental report, miscellaneous report by Christopher Johnson, badge number 2410. All right, offense, no vitals, has the case number. Date of statement is 3/1/2024, so March the 1st of this year. OW, whatever that means. Name is Aubrey Howard Dymek. Okay, and it has his address in Kissimmee, Florida, date of birth and all that good stuff. I'm surprised they didn't redact the phone number. I'm not going to read that out. And it says, I, Hardy Dymek, do hereby voluntarily make the following statement without threat, coercion, offer, or benefit of or favor by any persons whomsoever. This is hard to read because it's handwritten, so y'all forgive me. I'm going to try to get through it. Made contact with deputies who were conducting an investigation, gave them permission to go on property to do their job. Okay, so that's going to be from the property owner, and I believe that's the guy that owned the land where Maddie's body was dumped, and he's just basically making a statement that I made contact with the cops, and I told them they could go on my property to investigate. And that is it. That's not quite the end. The next page of that is waivers and affidavits. It's the same person, Aubrey Dymek. Gave consent to Osceola County Sheriff's deputies and employees to search by property located at, and it gives the address over there on Hickory Tree Road. I further consent to Osceola County Sheriff deputies and employees to search all areas located in my, I can't see what that says. It doesn't say property. Or I can't tell what that says. And or all building structures and vehicles adjacent to my blank, including all containers located therein. My consent and agreement is to search is freely given. So basically, it's just verifying his statement that he freely gave permission for the sheriff's department to come in and search that property that belongs to him and everything attached to the property, all the containers, boxes, barrels, tanks, anything on that. He gave them permission to search in the process of their investigation. All right. This one this is the crime scene contamination sheet. Not sure what that is, but we're going to find out as we go. Any and all persons entering the crime scene, including the first deputy on the scene, are required to print their name and state the reason they entered the scene in the spaces listed below. This is to aid in the elimination of fingerprints and footwear impressions at the scene. Okay, so that's what this document is for. It's signed by a bunch of people. The first thing, I'm just going to go by the first one on here. First one is Lori Bengioni, her initials, the date and time. It doesn't list the reason. For some of the others, reasons are listed, such as forensics, KPD detective, forensics, homicide, CID. So basically, that's what this page is, and we're going to skip on past that. We got 896 pages to go, honey. Osceola County Sheriff's Department, Deputy Report for Incident, and it has the incident number. Nature, Miscellaneous Service 18, address, and this is going to be on Hickory Tree Road in St. Cloud, Florida. And again, that is the property, I believe, where Maddie was found. Yeah, that's the same address. All right. Received by B. Furphy, and his agency is going to be the Osceola County Sheriff's Office. It lists all the responding officers. Jennifer Soto's name is in here, though. S. Swan, M. Sweeney, John Cox, Chris Johnson, M. Odell, Jack Koch, A. Arroyo, Joy Schultes, R. Wayman, Kayla Ruiz, E. Seda, Kane Wynn, Yamari Fontanez, Jennifer Soto. Wonder why her name is there as a responding officer. L. Edwards, C. Donaldson, Bianca Meyer, Joseph Castro, and Daniel Otero. I wonder why her name is in there listed with the responding officers. That's weird. Why? See, that's going to bother me until I find out what it is. I'm going to write that down because I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. I want to know. Why is Jen Soto listed under responding officers? I'm going to find out. I have an idea of who I want to ask. I'm going to email them. Y'all, excuse me. I'm going to email them and see if I can find out why she would be listed there. Maybe it's a case where everybody who was on the crime scene or on this scene was listed, but I don't understand why she would have been at that scene, on that scene, actually. Maybe once she found out that Maddie was found, she would go there, but be on our side of the crime scene tape. But this listed with responding officers make it seem like she was on their side of the crime scene tape. So why would she be listed as an officer? Or is she just listed there because that's the only place that they had to put her? So I don't know. All the responding officers listed again, and Jennifer Soto is again listed with them. And the unit, each officer has a unit next to it. I'm not sure what the unit is. I want to say maybe that's their squad or the unit that they work with in the sheriff's office. I'm trying to see if any of these have the same numbers. They're all different numbers. Some of them are like 3-digit numbers, and some of them are 4 or 5 with letters and numbers. Like you got unit PR30, 171, 181, 291, AG23, and AG24, and on and on and on. Not necessarily consecutively, so I don't know what the unit is going to stand for. If anybody knows, let me know. And the reason I'm going through all this page by page is because, like I said, I haven't read the paperwork yet, and I haven't really been watching other people's coverage of it because I've soaked up so much of Maddie's story that I had to kind of take a break from it, from watching about it, because I was watching every single thing that came out. Anybody that dropped a video about Maddie, I watched it. So I took like a little 2-week break from that, just to kind of get my own thoughts and perspectives together. So we're going through this page by page because I don't know what's in this document dump. So I don't want us to miss anything. If I don't know what it is, or it doesn't seem like it's something that's really relevant to us, that our discussion, I'm going to just kind of skip through it like I'm doing this right here. And if it's something like a statement or a search warrant or something like that, then we're going to go more in depth with it. But stuff like this, I'm just basically saying, hey, this is what it's here. Really doesn't do anything for us, but it's here. Okay. At call. See. Supplement. And this one is page 4 of 7. It's a part of this document that we've been reading with the officers and stuff listed on it. That first page was the page that I described where there's like the fill in the blanks, and they have their name, initial, date, and time, and why they were on the scene. So this is page 4 of that document. That document is 7 pages long in total. And on page 4, it says supplement written by D/S.C. Johnson 2910. So it's going to be Detective Sergeant C. Johnson. And it has the incident number. The zone is 72. Not sure what that is. Date 3/1/24. Supplemental report. On March 1st, 2024 at 17:16 hours, I responded to 5670 Hickory Tree Road, St. Cloud, Florida, 34772 in reference to a missing person. Upon arrival, I provided scene security due to an ongoing investigation. I completed a crime scene log for all persons entering the scene. Contact was then made with Hardy Dymek, landowner and witness, who provided a sworn written statement and completed a consent to search affidavit. Both documents were submitted for processing. This concluded my involvement in the above incident. So this guy just did the secured the crime scene and documented who was coming and going. Page 5, written by also a supplement written by criminal analyst supervisor D. Sita, badge number 2249, same zone, 72, same incident report, and this is on 3, same incident number, and this is on 3/5, so this is 4 days later that this was written. On March 1st, 2024, at approximately 14:30 hours, I was contacted by Major Hinderman and requested to respond to the American Classic Charter School located at 2395 Hickory Tree Road, St. Cloud, Florida, to assist with the search for a missing juvenile as an assist to the Kissimmee Police Department. Upon arrival, I was tasked with identifying areas of interest to search on a map based on tips received and video footage obtained. So that's kind of interesting verbiage right there that it's based on tips received and video footage obtained. And I'm wondering if that's just like a general statement that they put in there or if they actually indeed had some kind of tips coming in. Excuse me. I would really like to be a fly on the wall to know what kind of tips they had come in. At approximately 1600 hours, that's 4 p.m., I was contacted by Lieutenant Yeager, who advised he was sending a mail in a white truck to the command post to give me information regarding possible area of interest. Yeah, they did have some tips come in because they definitely had the tip about the guy who saw Stephen Stearns changing a flat tire. So they did have at least one tip that came in, and most likely they had a lot more. At 16:05 hours, I was contacted by Mr. Thomas Karras, witness, and it gives his phone number. I advised he had seen the news conference earlier this date and wanted to report a possible sighting of the suspect vehicle from Monday, February 26th. He stated he saw the suspect's vehicle, a silver sedan, pulled off Hickory Tree Road, and a subject with a tire iron in his hand, wearing a black shirt and green hat on backwards, standing near the vehicle, and he made an eye contact with the subject. He stated he was not exactly sure of the time, but it was around 1:20 in the afternoon. I asked Mr. Karras if he would mind stepping out of his vehicle and showing me on the map the exact location. Using my agency-issued laptop, I pulled up a satellite view of Hickory Tree Road around Albritton Road, and Mr. Karras navigated the map to the location he saw the subject at on Monday, February 26th. The latitude and longitude of the location he pointed out were noted, and it gives the latitude and longitude. And Mr. Karras shared via airdrop to my work cell phone photos he took of the spot that day, March 1st, 2024, for reference. Those photos were later emailed to Kissimmee PD. The location provided by Mr. Karras was passed along to Sergeant Swan, Captain Mingione, and Major Hinderman as a point of interest at the command post. Wow, he even took pictures of the spot. Now, that's an interesting tidbit that I wasn't aware of. So at least there's photo documentation, like if Stefan left anything there, maybe they can see tire tracks or something, or uh, maybe treads off the tire. Because I'm not sure what kind of flat he got. Was it a blowout? Did it just get a hole in it, have a screw in it, something like that? Did he have a blowout to where there were pieces that they could have come back later and found? I was also contacted by Detective Lorenzano while on scene at the command post. He advised he had collected video from 4085 Malawi Trail, St. Cloud, and asked if I could have it reviewed for a sighting on the vehicle. I watched three of the time frames he provided and found a possible match to the suspect vehicle, traveling north on Hickory Tree Road in one of the clips attached to the email with the time frame of 1356 to 1405. So from 156 to 205. That clip containing the vehicle was forwarded to Kissimmee PD. I advised Kissimmee PD that I didn't watch further, but there were additional videos should they want to reach out to the resident at that address. This concludes my involvement in the case. Now, Gray Hughes Investigates did a very good mapping of this. I cannot remember the exact title of the video, but if you want to go over to his channel and look up some of his map work on the Maddie case, he did an excellent job on that. He's awesome with maps. I wish I were that good with maps. I mean, he's got it plotted out, the routes, the timestamps. He's showing exactly where the car was at what timestamp and blah blah blah, and he just does a really good job. Really does with the maps. Hold on a second. Okay, so I'm going to share it for right now because there's not really anything on here that um that is sensitive. I think that's probably going to be further down in the paperwork where we get into like descriptions and pictures and all descriptions of pictures and things like that. Okay, and this is page 6 of that document. Let me zoom in some. I think I want to do. All right. Supplement. Same incident report written by same incident number written by Sergeant Swan. On March 1st, 2024, this agency received information that a possible suspect involved in a missing person case was in Osceola County. The suspect was seen by a witness in the area of 5670 Hickory Tree Road, St. Cloud, Florida, changing a tire. The witness pointed to the area on the map where he saw the vehicle parked off the side of the road. I had to turn my camera off, guys. Y'all, I don't like being on camera. Y'all know that. I really don't. But I'll probably be on camera more here lately in the coming weeks. Captain Mingione and I arrived in the above area at approximately 4:28 p.m. and noticed locked gates on the east and west side of the road. Knowing the area and the property owner, I called the property owner, Hardy Dymack. Hardy advised he was 2 minutes away. Hardy arrived at 4:30 p.m. Hardy advised we had full permission to search. We had full permission to enter his property, and he unlocked both the east and west gates. Hardy explained how to lock the gates back once we were done. Hardy left, returning to work. Later, after providing consent, Hardy signed a consent to search his properties and completed a sworn written statement. Thank God for Hardy Dymack. Captain Mingione and I entered the property on the west side of Hickory Tree Road. We walked to the north for a few minutes near round hay bales covered in plastic. Then we went to the left, south side of the gate, where there was a long line of tall bamboo trees. Captain Mingione noticed just a few feet into the bamboo tree line what appeared to be blue jeans. As we got closer, we noticed what appeared to be a body. The top half of the body was covered by a green colored hooded sweatshirt, and the bottom half was covered with blue jeans. The body was laying on the left side in somewhat of a fetal position. It appeared that the body was covered by pieces of hay or dry grass. Based on my training and experience, it was apparent that this was a human body. I did not see any signs of life. I could clearly see flies covering body. I really hate to even have that mental image of Maddie in my head because she was such a beautiful girl. I mean, in all her pictures, even with everything that she was going through, she just had this happy look about her. Like there was a spark still inside of her, fighting to stay lit. You know, sometimes these stories really get to me because it's just so unbelievable that we have these kind of monsters, real life monsters, running around here doing the things that they do to innocent children. Innocent people, but especially innocent children. Captain Mingione and I walked out of the gate and used crime scene tape to secure the scene. Deputy Chris Johnson responded to assist at a crime scene. Fog was started. Kissimmee Police Department responded to the scene along with forensics, and the investigation was turned over to them. Please see Donna Cita's supplement for witness information. Okay, name involvements. So it's gonna Osceola County Sheriff's Office Administration versus Earlo Bronson Memorial Highway. Property owner got Aubrey Dymek. Go ahead and skip past his phone number and information. Okay, and that was page 7, the last page of that document that started with the crime scene log of who had been there and at what time and for what reason. The next document we're on, and this is probably going to be the last one for today. The next document we're on, Osceola County Sheriff's Department call detail report. And it has, the nature is miscellaneous service 18, received by B. Furphy, occurred between 5:08 p.m. on the 1st and 5:08 p.m. on the 1st. 5670 Hickory Tree Road. Complainant is the Osceola County Sheriff's Office. This is the radio log. And the radio log is just telling who got there, who entered, who left, and it lists like the officers and times and see whatever the code is. I know this ARRV is going to be arrived in RC. I'm not sure. OFFD, not sure what that might be. Those codes are important somewhere along the line. I'm guessing it's basically telling what they did, where they went in the crime scene, something along those lines. And we have a few pages of that. All right, now on page 5, call detail report. Gonna have to decipher this one. 1708, which is 5:08 p.m. 3/1/24. D. Furphy. D. Furphy. I don't know why I can't say that. Perfect, like Murphy, with an F. Something about the incident number. Jack Koch. A lot of media is heading towards Hickory Tree. Why Witherspoon, Lieutenant Chambers aware. Ref media. Michael Ball was at the Circle K on Friars Cove. Okay, so this is just radio traffic back and forth. They are making comments back and forth on the radio from the crime scene. I'm guessing from the call center. All right, a little bit of logs, some more logs, some more logs. Officers' names. That's the end of that. That's an 8-page document. I have no idea what police radio traffic, how to decipher that. So I'm going to skip past that. I'm going to leave that to somebody who knows. But basically, it was communications during the time that the police were at the crime scene where they found the body. All right, next document. Signature affidavit. I think we'll go ahead and do this one, and then I'm going to call it quits for the day. Supplement report. And this is from Sergeant Swan. Property evidence form. So receipts has the incident number, charges, nature, death investigation, date recovered 3/1/24, time recovered 21:43, which is 9:43 p.m. Recovered by F.T. Soto at 5670 Hickory Tree Road. Tire fragment marker 1, tire fragment marker 2, scene photos. Okay, so like I said before, they probably were able to recover some tire fragments and different tread and stuff from, he must have had a blowout, an actual blowout. Oh, isn't this okay? So Jennifer Soto that's listed here is not the Jennifer Soto, the mother. This is actually an officer named Jennifer Soto. Her badge number is 3184. Odd, huh? Coincidence. All right. They also did Faro scans. Faro scans, if for those who are not familiar with it, are 3D scans. 3D 360-degree scans of crime scenes is how they reconstruct crime scenes in 3D. With exact positions of everything, body, blood splatter, just everything around there, trees, bushes, porches, houses, sidewalks, everything that you would see if you stood there and turned in a circle, you'd see on a Faro scan. If you've never watched, there's a TV show, an old TV show from A&E called Crime 360. And if you go check that out, you'll see exactly what a Faro scan is. It's kind of similar to how when you they have those virtual walkthroughs on real estate websites where you can go through and move to different parts of the room and look around it. It's basically like that. Right, scroll on down, scroll on down. So that was the Faro scan. The next page lists major case prints collected from, and it's redacted. I wonder if that's from Stephen Stearns. This was on the 4th, on March 4th at 9:31 in the morning. Okay, the next page is signature page. Signature affidavit supplemental report from 3/5/2024. This is Donna Ceta's report. Okay, incident report. See if I can find a date on this one. Orange County Sheriff's Office report number. It has a report number, supplemental number. Doesn't have CAD number or anything like that. Doesn't have a date on it. Reporting Myra Tagler, badge 8601. And she is with the sex crime squad. And it's a bunch of blankness. Okay, here we go. On February 26th at approximately 6:53 p.m., the Orange County Sheriff's Office received a call for service referencing a missing juvenile. At approximately 7:48 p.m., Deputy Frankie Joseph, EID 10644, responded to, and it gives the address. That's going to be her mother's office. Let me shut Navi up because she will hate listening me to death. Okay, so that's going to be Maddie's grandmother's office address that's blanked out there in reference to a missing 13-year-old juvenile, later identified as, we know, that's Madeline Soto. Deputy Joseph made contact with Madeline's mother, Jennifer, who advised the following in a verbal and sworn written statement. On February 26, 2023, that should be 2024, at approximately 8:08 hours, so 8 o'clock in the morning, Jen observed Madeline getting dressed for school at approximately 8:30 a.m. Jen's boyfriend, Stephen Stearns, took Madeline to school and dropped her off near the intersection of Town Loop Boulevard and Hunters Park Lane. At approximately 4 p.m., Jen went to the school in an attempt to pick up Maddie. However, Maddie never came out of the school. Jen searched the area for Maddie, and after not finding her, she went to blank. I believe that's also going to be her mother's business address, but it probably has the full name of the business and the address there, which is why that redaction is so long. Deputy Joseph made contact with Stephen Stearns, who advised the following in a verbal and sworn written statement. On February 26, 2024, at approximately 8:25 to 8:40 in the morning, Stephen dropped Maddie off approximately 1 block away from her school. Stephen watched Madeline leave his vehicle and walk in the direction of her school. As Stephen was driving away, he saw what appeared to be Madeline searching through her book bag. Stephen did not think anything of it due to Madeline usually looking through her bag to find headphones so she could put them on before going to school. Stephen then drove to a vape shop. However, it was closed and he drove to his residence. Stephen was home for approximately an hour before he traveled back to the vape shop. After buying vape juice, Stephen returned home and hung out with Jennifer. Stephen then went out to run errands and returned home around approximately 2:30 p.m. It's crazy how he had the wherewithal to add that little detail about her digging through her bag, and she usually does that. I mean, he told this lie so smooth and so easily because you would think if somebody was being truthful, they throw in a little detail like that or something. This dude is some. This dude is a whole different piece of work. Deputy Joseph then responded to Blank with an Orange County Sheriff's Office K-9 unit to collect clothing article belonging to Madeline and headed back to the intersection of Town Loop Boulevard and Hunters Park Lane, which was the last known location Madeline was seen, and began to track. The track yielded negative results. Okay, so he responded to, that's going to be their home address at the condo, to get something that belonged to her so that they could scent the dog. Madeline was described as 5'1", approximately 110 pounds, blue eyes, fair skin, and blonde hair, according to Stephen and Jennifer. Madeline was last seen wearing a green hoodie, black shorts, and white Crocs. The fact that Jennifer said a green hoodie so quickly and the white Crocs and she got the pants wrong makes me think that Jennifer and Stefan had discussed this to some degree, and she probably just forgot the script there on what kind of pants Maddie had on, or they intentionally. No, I wouldn't say she intentionally said the wrong item because Stefan kind of corrected her, but then when she insisted on shorts, he just let it go because really he couldn't make a whole big deal out of that because it probably wouldn't really he felt like it wouldn't come across right if he were insistent that no it was this that she was wearing. But just that little piece right there makes me think that they did discuss this to some degree and that Jennifer did have some knowledge of what went on. Now, whether or not she knew that Madeline was dead, maybe Stefan made it seem like something was going on to the point that he somewhat expected Maddie to run away or something. Or, I mean, I can't really get into his conniving mind for the details, but it's like something. Jennifer knows more than what we're being led to believe, and I believe the police know that. And I believe before it's over with, Jennifer is going to have some charges, and not any little petty misdemeanor charges. She's going to have some big girl charges. Okay, Madeline was entered into EM Resource and later entered into teletype as a missing endangered juvenile by Gleisner and his badge number. Madeline's BOLO number is, and it gives her BOLO number. Deputy Joseph contacted the on-call domestic crimes detective. It should be noted, personnel assigned to the domestic crime squad conduct missing persons investigations. Detective Francis Hunt was notified and coordinated the initial patrol response, subsequently advising Deputy Joseph to route the report to the Missing Persons Squad. On February 27, 2024, Detective F. Hunt was notified Madeline did not report to school. At this time, Detective Hunt made contact with Jennifer and Stefan. Please see his supplemental report for further details. Investigative detail. On February 27, 2024, at approximately 4 p.m., I, Detective M. Tagler, was notified of the missing person investigation and responded to assist with canvassing. I responded to the initial command post located at 5100 Town Center Boulevard, Orlando, Florida. Upon my arrival, I was tasked to speak to Stephen Stearns with Detective L. Acosta. Before speaking with Stephen, I was advised the vehicle he was driving, the 2010 silver Lincoln MKZ, bearing Florida tag and against the tag number, had been seen in the following locations. February 26, 2024, southbound on S. John Young Parkway and Osceola County line at 8:10 a.m. Okay, incident report. Southbound on South John Young Parkway on Osceola County line at 10:05 a.m. Southbound on South John Young Parkway and Osceola County line at 11:48 a.m. Eastbound on US 192 and Pecan Street at 1:05 p.m. Westbound on US 192 and Academy Drive at 2:23 p.m. So they got his whole route. They can put together every step he made from that within that time frame. Interview with Stephen Stearns. Okay. I already said we were gonna let this I was gonna stop a few pages back, but we're gonna go ahead and do this one, which is 11 pages long. So let me get back up here and let's get to it. Interview with Stephen Stearns. On February 27, 2024, Detective Acosta and I conducted a digitally recorded sworn interview with Stephen Stearns at blank. Below is the synopsis of his statement. Stephen currently resides in Northport, Florida, but comes to Kissimmee, Florida, occasionally to spend time with Madeline and Jennifer. On February 25th, 2024, at approximately 8:45 p.m., Stephen arrived at blank and Maddie and Jen's residence located at, and there's the address to the condo, redacted. When he arrived, Jennifer was still at work and he directed Madeline to get ready for bed. Once Jennifer arrived, she informed Stephen and Madeline she would like to sleep in and directed them to sleep upstairs in the guest room. That just never, I can't get past that. How in the world do you let your 13-year-old daughter sleep in the bed with a full grown man who's not even related to her? Like, seriously? The following morning, Stephen and Madeline woke up at approximately 700 to 7 at approximately 7 a.m. to 7:15 a.m. to get a quote early start unquote so they could purchase food from McDonald's before school. Madeline and he left the residence between 7:30 and 7:45 a.m. and headed towards the McDonald's located at 14,001 Town Loop Boulevard, Orlando, Florida. On the way to McDonald's, Madeline slept the entire time, and once in the area, Stephen asked her if she still wanted McDonald's, to which she said she did not. She slept the whole way, right? I mean, he's telling such a detailed lie. Stephen drove past McDonald's and headed towards the school. Stephen dropped Madeline off on the right side of the road near the community south of the State Road 417 overpass between 8:20 a.m. and 8:40 a.m. That's the whole 20 minutes. You don't know, can't narrow down your lie a little more than that? Excuse me. According to Stephen, Madeline was going through a quote unquote phase, which led her to be embarrassed of his vehicle and did not like to be dropped off at school in it. Madeline then informed Stephen she was going to hang out with her friends, and Stephen did not question it since it was not unusual for kids to hang out before school. Stephen let Madeline out of the vehicle and told her to have a good day, love you, to which she replied, thanks, love you too. I highly doubt that ever happened at any time, at any point in time. Stephen turned around and watched in the rearview mirror as Madeline, quote unquote, rummaged through her book bag as she walked in the direction of the school. Stephen assumed Madeline was looking for headphones, but later realized she had forgotten her phone. Stephen continued to observe Madeline walk towards the direction of her school. At this point, Detective Acosta showed Stephen a map of the area where he alleged he dropped Madeline off for school. According to Stephen, he dropped her off on the sidewalk at the intersection of Lilac Cove Lane and Town Loop Boulevard. Stephen stated this may be the fifth or sixth time he had dropped her off, and it was common for her to ask to be dropped off near the school. According to Stephen, Madeline enjoyed the cold weather, and it was at that time he dropped her off. She was wearing her hoodie. I asked Stephen if he pulled into the McDonald's plaza, to which she advised he did not because she said she did not want McDonald's. I then asked him if at any point he made a U-turn, and Stephen stated he made a U-turn at the church parking lot to try to, quote, sell her on McDonald's one more time, unquote, because he was still hungry. Madeline informed Stephen she just wanted to go to school, therefore they turned back around. According to Stephen, he made the U-turn in the church parking lot located at 13502 Town Loop Boulevard, Orlando, Florida. Detective Acosta showed Stephen a map that showed the school and McDonald's and asked Stephen to show him on this map his direction of travel. Stephen stated he was bad at reading maps, but he believed he came across Town Loop Boulevard. Stephen then stated When he drives to the school, he usually takes John Young Parkway and makes a left turn when he sees the McDonald's onto the same road the school is on. According to Stephen, he uses landmarks to get to the school since he does not know the street names. How convenient. Stephen again stated, Madeline said no to McDonald's and they had, quote, time to kill, unquote. That little phrase right there just does something to me under the circumstances. Therefore, he made a U-turn, quote, probably by the church, unquote, and asked her if she wanted McDonald's again. When he dropped her off, Stephen asked her if it was okay for her to stay this early, and Madeline reassured him that it was, and that she could see, and that he, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's start it again. Stephen asked her if it was okay for her to stay this early, and Madeline reassured him that it was, and she wanted to wait for her friends to get there. Stephen told her to have a good day and I love her. And she said she loved me too. Then turned around to leave and could see Madeline in his rearview mirror walking towards the direction of the school as she rummaged through her book bag. After leaving the area of Madeline's school, Stephen went to the local vape shop because he needed more vape juice. The vape shop was not open yet. Therefore, he went back to his residence at approximately 10 a.m. Stephen hung out with Jennifer for a little while. Approximately an hour later, he went back to the vape shop. At this time, the vape shop was open and he was able to purchase the item he needed. I wonder if they have video footage from the vape shop showing him there. I'm sure if there's any type of surveillance video that was at that vape shop, they got it. Because they are going to nail him to the wall. Hear me? At around 1100 hours or 11 a.m., Stephen walked back to his residence and hung out with Jennifer again. I asked Stephen if Jennifer was home the first time he returned, to which he stated, yes, I think so. Now he says the first time he went back, he hung out with Jennifer for about an hour. So now he's saying, yes, I think so. How are you not sure if you hung out with somebody that morning? Okay. We know he's lying anyway, so. Then he stated he was not sure because she had a blood appointment at some point during the day and apologized, stating, sorry, everything is a blur. Stephen then stated he believed she was home because she was trying to sleep in as much as she could because she was messed up with her work schedule. Maybe he didn't hang out with Jennifer. Maybe he hung out with somebody else because there were other people living in the apartment at the time. So maybe he said he hung out with one of the other people that lived in the apartment. I just assumed Jennifer's name because it was redacted, but it could very well be that he used the name of another person that lives there. That'll be interesting to see. I asked Stephen if he recalled what time he went to the vape shop, and he advised he believed around 11 a.m., stating it was only a 10-minute drive. Stephen stated the shop was called E-Smoker Online Vape Shop, which is located at 13651 Hunters Oak Drive, Orlando, Florida. After making the purchase, Stephen returned home where he remained until approximately 12:45 hours or 12:45 p.m. At that time, Stephen left the residence, heading to the area of US 192 to run several errands. Jennifer had mentioned to Stephen she wanted to make a BJ's wholesale club list and wanted Stephen to be back in time to go with her to pick up Madeline. While on US 192, Stephen visited some card shops because he is a quote nerd, and there are new cards that had been released. Stephen stated he visited Coliseum of Comics, stopped at a couple of Targets. He stopped at a couple of Targets, not just one, and was going to House Rules Games on Oak Street in US 192. Stephen advised he did not make it that far because he got a flat tire. I asked Stephen where he got his flat tire, and he informed me it was on US 192, and he had pulled into one of the plazas. Stephen then stated it had been about 10 years since he changed the tire and had made many rookie mistakes in the process and ended up pinning his thumb in between the jack and the frame. So he had a thumb injury that he needed to explain away. So I'm wondering, was there some kind of serious struggle between him and Maddie when whatever happened? Was there a serious struggle, or did she bite him on the hand or something? Because the theory is out there that he strangled her. So at some point in time, did his hand get close enough to her mouth that she strangled him, that she bit him in the process of him trying to get a grip to strangle her? Or was he trying to push down or push against her face and got bitten? And I know that sounds kind of weird to like, did he push against her face? But okay, you guys already know what happened to me in 2020 uh, when my ribs got broken, and I also got bit. I was trying. The person bit me in the face. He was biting my lip, and in the course of me trying to push him away from biting my lip, some kind of way, my thumb and my forefinger ended up getting bit. So it's quite possible that he was like trying to push her face away or push her head down or something, and she ended up biting him on the hand. And he needed to explain that thumb injury, so he said he caught it between the jack, the tire iron, and the car. Okay, wait a minute. And made hitting his thumb between the jack and the frame. I asked Stephen which plaza he pulled into, and he stated he was not sure, but believed it was before Oak Street. Stephen then stated he did not make it back in time because he got a flat tire, and Jennifer left to pick up Madeline without him. Stephen called Jennifer to tell her what happened and apologized profusely for not being back in time to go with her to pick up Madeline. Once back at the residence, Stephen hung out and straightened the apartment as he waited for Madeline and Jennifer. Jennifer then contacted Stefan and let him know Madeline had not come out. At this time, Stefan began getting worried and started making phone calls to Jennifer's family, asking them to be on the lookout be walking, since she may be walking to them. According to Stefan, this is when everything started going downhill. Yeah, you're right. He got worried because he knew the grits had hit the pan. He knew it was only a matter of time before his whole lie came crumbling down. And yeah, that's when everything started going downhill because he thought in his mind that he had done a good job of covering up what he did and making it look like it wasn't him. But now the reality strikes him that they're gonna be on to you before you know it. They're gonna be on you like white on rice. I did ask Stefan if it was normal for Jennifer to not have her phone, to which he replied, I'm saying, excuse me, Madeline, to not have her phone. To which he replied, Madeline was severely ADHD and that her mother and he, as is her mother and he, should have been as are her mother. Stefan advised due to this, it was not unusual for her to forget her phone. I asked Stefan if she was on medication for ADHD, and he stated she normally took her medication but had not done so the week prior due to being at her grandparents' residence most of the week, resulting in Madeline being very spacey. As Detective Acosta was reviewing the map, Stefan asked if he had messed up his streets again and reiterated that he was bad about streets in the Hunters Creek area. I informed Stefan he mentioned he made a U-turn at the church to see if Maddie wanted McDonald's again, to which he agreed. I asked Stefan if he was gone, if he had gone anywhere else since they had time to kill, to which he stated no. I, that phrase does it for me. It does it something to me. It's just odd that he would pick that type of phrase when he just killed his son. I asked Stefan if there were any reason why he would be back on John Young Parkway, and he stated when they tried going to McDonald's the second time, he could have made a left instead and looped around. I asked Stefan to show me on the map what he was referring to. Stefan stated he was originally going north on John Young Parkway, turned left at the McDonald's Town Loop Boulevard towards the school, and made the U-turn at the median located on at Lilac Cove Lane and Town Loop Boulevard. Stefan then went back to McDonald's with quote still time to kill unquote, and she again stated she did not want McDonald's, so he gave her a cheese Danish pastry he had from home. Stefan headed north on John Young Parkway, turned eastbound on Town Center Boulevard, and made a right towards the school. I asked Stefan if he recalled what time he dropped her off, and he advised he estimated it was around 8:20 a.m. and 8:40 a.m. I asked Stefan if he had the Google Maps application on his phone, and he advised he did, but he was not mapping it at the time, which really doesn't matter because Google Maps automatically, unless you change your settings, Google Maps automatically uh, tracks you through GPS. You can go back in your timeline if you have an Android phone. Check for yourself. Go in your Google Maps, go in the settings, tap your picture, and you'll see that it says timeline. And you can tap on that, and you can probably see all the way back to the very day that you got that phone, everywhere that you have been, pretty accurately at that. This I know because I have some Apple devices now, but I am a diehard Android girl. All right. At this time, I asked Stefan if he would mind if I looked at his map, to which he stated he did not, unlocked his phone, and handed it to me. As I reviewed Stefan's Google Maps, Detective Acosta confirmed once again the route he took that morning. Detective Acosta informed Stefan he stated he had gone up John Young Parkway through Town Center Boulevard and made a right on Town Loop Boulevard before he dropped her off before the underpass south of the church. I'm so confused about that. I need to be looking at a map to understand what he just said. Stefan again stated Madeline enjoyed the morning walks when the weather was cold and how she did not like to get dropped off in his car because it was an image thing. Stefan informed Detective Acosta the bell usually rang about 9:15 and he dropped her off that morning earlier than typical since they had made really good time. Stefan again confirmed watching Madeline walk towards the direction of the school. I asked Stefan if he would mind if I checked if he was logged into his Google account, and he replied he was not logged on, but that it was okay for me to check. When I looked through Stefan's Google history, Detective Acosta continued to speak with Stefan. Stefan advised Detective Acosta the morning he dropped Madeline off to school, she had her school laptop, which should still be with her. Stefan described Madeline's backpack as black with grayish hibiscus flowers on it. Detective Acosta asked Stefan if Madeline had ever run away for any amount of time, to which he stated Madeline was very dependent on them and would probably not know what to do if she were to run away. So he didn't even answer the question. What he was asked was, had Madeline ever run away for any amount of time? The direct answer would be either yes or no, or possibly an example of a time that she had done it once before. Not this whole runaround about, oh, she's very dependent. She probably wouldn't know what to do if she ran away. That still don't tell me if she ever did. Stefan also stated Madeline was not the type to run away, that she was a good kid. Stefan informed Detective Acosta that Madeline had been tested a while ago and showed signs of being on the spectrum of autism and had been diagnosed with autism but was later advised that she was not autistic. I confirmed with Stefan. He used Google Maps for directions, to which he stated, yes, go places, search addresses, look at store hours, write reviews. It's a pretty new phone though, which has nothing to do with the question. So we can see he's already trying to stay a step ahead in his plotting and his scheming, and trying to preemptively explain away some things. As I looked through Stefan's Google Maps account, I noticed he did not have recorded travel on the account consistent with the driving he informed us he had done on February 26th and February 27th. I asked Stefan when he had returned to the area to assist Jennifer, and he stated that on February 25th, 2024, at approximately 8:30 p.m., just in time to make sure she was doing all of her nightly routines as they waited for Jennifer to get home. I asked Stefan where he and Jennifer looked for Madeline, and he stated they stayed local. I asked Stefan if he drove anywhere, to which he stated he believed they had not, and Jennifer's family was driving around. Stefan stated he did not recall driving anywhere the night of February 26, 2024, and that he was socked out on Ativan at the point because he was a wreck, and what and that he was on so many tranquilizers. Stefan stated he had not needed to take Ativan in a while, but that he had been having these panic attacks and had been crying and took it to get sleep that night. Now, they asked him where he and Jennifer went to look for Madeline, and he said they stayed local. But then he turns around and says he doesn't believe they went anywhere. So in other words, they just sat at the house and didn't go anywhere to look for her. Right? Right. And I'm pretty sure he was having panic attacks once everything started coming out. He knew he was soon to be locked up. I probably would have been having panic attacks too. Detective Acosta informed Stefan they were trying to establish a timeline of events, at which point Stefan interrupted and stated he is trying his best, but he was not a morning person and was trying to give his best guess. Detective Acosta then stated, we knew he drove north on John Young Parkway and had made a left at the McDonald's, which Stefan agreed, and that he mentioned he had dropped her off around 8:20 to 8:40 a.m. Detective Acosta asked Stefan what time he believes he made the first left at McDonald's, which he stated it was either around 8 a.m. or a quarter after. Detective Acosta showed Stefan on the map the direction he stated he had traveled, which he again confirmed. So they're doubling down on this. They're making sure to pin him to the wall so that he can't squirm out of it later and say, no, I didn't say that. They're asking him 2 or 3 times about the details. Detective Acosta pointed out to Stefan that the direction he continued to mention he had traveled was northbound on John Young Parkway. Detective Acosta then asked Stefan why his vehicle was seen traveling southbound in the direction of Kissimmee. Stefan stated he was sorry and he had forgotten his gate clicker and had driven back to his residence. Stefan advised he went through the front gate and had used his parking pass to grab his clicker, and that he had provided the wrong times because he was not a morning person. Stefan stated he had almost arrived at the school and they had plenty of time to kill. Here he goes with this time to kill. This is like the third different way he said it, which is why he rushed back to get the gate clicked. I asked Stefan if when I looked at the surveillance for the complex, it was going to show him entering the front gate with Madeline in the front seat, and he stated yes. So according to him, he's gone all the way from the apartment to the school only to turn around and go all the way back to the apartment to get a gate clicker and come back to the school, but it would have made a whole lot more sense to stay at the school, drop Maddie off, then go get the gate clicker. That's crazy. But I guess it made sense in his mind. He was lying so fast, he was tripping over himself. Detective Acosta asked Stefan if he could not have just waited until after he dropped Madeline off to get his gate clicker. Ding, 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 ding. Which he stated he could have, but he liked coming to the apartment complex through the back gate because sometimes they were busy in the front gate and it was better not to wait in a long line. At this point, I noticed Stefan's phone only contained minimal data of his call history, and it appeared as if some of the messaging applications had never been used. I stepped away for a second as Detective Acosta continued to speak with Stefan. While I had walked away, Stefan informed Detective Acosta that he had made a joke to Madeline the morning of February 26th about her Crocs since she wore Crocs and socks. Stefan described Madeline as a very good girl who brought a lot of joy. Oh my God, this is making my stomach turn. And did not feel the same without her around. Stefan said he was already talking like this is the end of the world. At this point, she's only reported missing, and he's talking as if she's never going to come back. Stefan stated Madeline called him her bonus dad, advising they had a very strong bond that she knew nothing but love in the household. Stefan stated Madeline was doing well in school and she was also singing. He then stated Madeline had sang for him and he reminded him of the movie Sister Act, and he told her he was very proud of her. I returned to speak with Stefan and asked him if he would unlock his phone again, which he did. I asked Stefan if he had stated did not have his phone the morning he dropped Madeline off. He replied he had forgotten it because he was too busy trying to get Madeline out of the door. That's probably true too. He was so busy trying to get her out of that door without anybody seeing what was going on or what condition she was in. He probably forgot a lot of stuff. I asked him if he had his phone when he went to the smoke shop, and he stated he did not the first time, but he did the second time. I informed Stefan that when I was looking at his call history, I had noticed he only had a call log for February 27th. I asked if it was usual on his phone. Stefan stated, no, it's a new phone, and stupid. I went to do an update yesterday morning, and I don't know what the fuck, pardon me, I don't know what the heck I did, but somehow during the massive iOS update, I managed to factory reset my phone and lose all my contacts and information. I asked Stefan if he recalled what time that occurred, which he stated sometime while he was hanging out with blank. And I'm not going to say Jennifer because I believe at this point he didn't say Jennifer. He said someone else in the household. I informed Stefan I was going to maintain possession of his phone at this time, and he asked to please refrain from going back inside his vehicle. And asked him to please refrain from going back inside his vehicle. Stefan swore everything he told us was true. Detective Hunt stayed with Jennifer and Stefan. At approximately 8:38 p.m., Osceola K-9 responded to 4012 Santa Maria Drive, Kissimmee, Florida, and conducted a track that yielded negative results. At this time, Detective Acosta and I responded to the front entrance of the complex and made contact with security in reference to video surveillance. Detective Acosta and I reviewed the surveillance on both the front and rear entrance of the complex, which exited onto Dyer Boulevard. In the surveillance footage, I observed a male wearing a red shirt leaving the complex in a 2010 silver Lincoln MKZ through the rear gate at 7:50 a.m. with a female wearing a green sweater in the front seat. This person appeared to be sitting upright with her head slumped over to her left side. At 8:19 a.m., I observed the male wearing a red shirt enter the complex through the front gate near North Hoagland Boulevard in the silver Lincoln with someone in the front passenger seat wearing a green sweater and once again slumped over. At 8:31 a.m., the male wearing the red shirt left the complex in the silver Lincoln MKZ through the rear gate with the female in the front passenger side completely slumped over to the left. Ooh, we still got some reading to do, y'all. So in the course of him going back and forth in that complex, Maddie slumped more over because up here it says she was slumped over to the left. The person was sitting upright with her head slumped over to the left side. So at first she was upright in the seat and just her head was slumped over. And by the time he left again out the back gate, she was completely slumped over. Hmm. Okay. Orange County Sheriff's Office incident report. Detective Corporal Jessica Alejos with Orange County Violent Crimes Unit responded to the scene and continued reviewing the surveillance footage. At this time, I, Detective Tagler, was assigned as the lead investigator to this case. Detective Acosta and I returned to the residence, and I asked Detective Hunt to ask everyone in the house to please exit the residence and to secure the residence. Interview with blank. On February 27th, Detective Acosta and I conducted a digitally recorded sworn interview with blank at blank. Below is a synopsis of her statement. I introduced myself to blank and informed her I was going to be the lead detective on the investigation. I informed blank that Detective Hunt and Detective Hunt had provided me with a synopsis of what occurred the day Madeline went missing. I informed Blake that I had been advised she had a new job. Okay, so we're talking about Jennifer. And that she had asked Madeline and Stephanie to sleep upstairs because she needed to get rest, which she stated that was correct. According to Jennifer, Madeline had her birthday party on February 25th, beginning at 3 p.m. and ending at an unknown time. Jennifer had not attended due to being at work. Jennifer advised her sister had dropped Madeline off at her house approximately 8:30, and she believed Stephen had arrived shortly after that time. Stephen informed Jennifer that Madeline had taken her nighttime medication and was getting ready for bed, which consisted of taking a shower. I wonder why the shower was specifically mentioned, and I don't want to let my mind go too far on that train of thought, but why would you specifically mention that? Okay. I asked Jennifer where Madeline and Stephen slept, and she stated upstairs in bedroom number 4. I asked if it was normal for Stephen and Madeline to sleep in the same room, to which she stated sometimes she would send them upstairs when she needed a really good night's sleep. Jennifer also advised sometimes they would all sleep together in the king size bed, and other times Stephen would sleep upstairs, meaning Madeline and she would sleep alone. Jennifer advised it usually depends on everybody's schedule the following day. I asked Jennifer what time she had woken up on February 26th, to which she stated she believed sometime between 8 and 8:15 because Stephen had gone into the room to put the leash on the dog. Jennifer got up to assist Stephen with placing the leash on the dog because she did not want him to pee on the bed. Jennifer heard people in the kitchen, and as far as she knew, Madeline had gone downstairs to get ready for school. Jennifer then stated Madison had a makeshift room in the living room that had a television, a desk, a dresser, and a bed. Only Madeline only used this room to hang out and would never sleep there. I asked Jennifer if she visually observed Madeline the morning of February 26th, to which she stated no. I asked if she had heard her and she stated she heard people in the kitchen but was not sure if it was her specifically. Jennifer then stated the last time she had physically seen Madeline was on February 25th at 11 p.m. when she had sent her to bed. On February 26th, 2024, Blake got out of the bed approximately 9. Jennifer got out of the bed between approximately 11 and 11:15 and believes Stephen was home at this time. I asked Jennifer what she and Stephen did when they reunited at the residence. Jennifer stated they had chatted for a little bit and she asked what happened. I asked what she meant and she stated Stephen called her around 10:18 p.m. to let her know he and Madeline had not gone, 10:18 a.m. He and Maddie had not gone to McDonald's as planned. According to Jennifer, Madeline and Stephen had planned to leave early and have special breakfast at McDonald's. Why a special breakfast? And he would then drop her off at school early because she wanted to arrive early. Stephen told Jennifer that on the way to school, Madeline was very sleepy and she wanted to sleep, not get McDonald's, and just wanted to get dropped off. He also wanted to let her know he left his phone at home by accident and had gone to the vape shop, but they had not opened on time. Stephen waited for a while in front of the vape shop, and after they did not open, he went back home. After hanging out with Blank for a while, Stephen left again to go to the vape shop to get what he needed. Jennifer then asked if I wanted the name of the vape shop because she believed it might be helpful, and if I wanted to, it might be helpful if I wanted to look at surveillance. I then told Jennifer I was advised at some point Stephen had gotten a flat tire and he was not able to go to school with her. I asked Jennifer to advise me how she became aware Madeline was not at school. Jennifer stated she normally left her residence approximately 2:30 and waited about an hour for her to get out before the bell rang. Jennifer waited the entire time, and when the bell rang, she noticed Madeline was not one of the first to come out like she normally was. Then realized she was holding up the parent line at approximately 4:10. Jennifer drove away. Jennifer was not sure if Madeline knew she was going to pick her up before she drove to the school. Before she drove to, okay, her place located at. Okay, so before she drove to her mother's office and checked on the way to see if she observed Madeline walking. When she arrived at, that's a lie. So somebody stayed in Yolanda. When she arrived at Blank's job, she asked her if Madeline was there, to which she was advised it was still too early. And then parked on Hunters Creek Lane to see if she could see Madeline walking. At approximately 4:30, Jennifer knew Madeline should have reached the grandma's office. Jennifer went back to the office and asked if she was there and was told not yet. Jennifer then contacted Madeline's friend, Blank, and asked if she was with Madeline. Blank informed Jennifer Madeline had not gone to school and that she was not in the first or second period. She then asked Blank, "What do you mean? We dropped her off close to school. She should have walked to school." Blank informed Jennifer Madeline was not in any of her periods. Jennifer then began to panic because she believed something was wrong. Jennifer emailed a few of her teachers and one replied saying Madeline had not made it to his class and had not made it to school at all. Jennifer began to freak out and contacted 911. Okay, we're gonna finish this. And I think we're gonna go down here to the end of this little section uh, and stop where it says the second interview of Stephen Stearns. Okay. I asked Jennifer if it was common for Madeline to not have her phone, to which she stated it was common for her to forget because she was ADHD, is extremely forgetful, and loses track of time. I asked Jennifer to explain to me where she looked for Madeline. Jennifer stated after speaking with Blake, she went to Madeline's friend. She went to the school to confirm her attendance. However, it was already closed. Jennifer backtracked and drove back to the grandmother's office. After Stephen heard Madeline did not show up at school, he went to the grandmother's office. They all waited for law enforcement to arrive. The grandmother's office to arrive at the grandmother's office, and they did not return home until they were done speaking with the police. I asked Jennifer where Madeline's phone was at the time she had gone to pick up Madeline, to which she stated she had taken it with her when she went to pick her up from school. Jennifer advised when Madeline forgot her phone, she would bring it to her when she would pick her up. Jennifer tried to look through Madeline's phone while waiting for police. However, she was in a panic and handed the phone to her sister and niece. They both went through Madeline's phone and they did not see anything weird on her phone. I asked Jennifer where they looked for Madeline, to which she stated was in the Hunters Creek area, and they returned home approximately 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I asked Jennifer if they went back out after that, to which she advised Stephen had gone back out in the middle of the night in her vehicle. So, for some reason, people have been like, we don't know who was driving Jennifer's car in the middle of the night. How do we not know? And the information is right there. Everybody's already covered this already. So we know that Jennifer says that Stephen went out in Jennifer's car in the middle of the night, back to the dump site. I explained to Jennifer her residence was going to be secured and everyone was going to have to stay somewhere else for the night. I also explained Stephen's car would be towed to the sheriff's office for processing because Madeline was last seen in Stephen's car. I provided Jennifer with my cell phone, asked her to let me know where she and Stephen were going to stay, and I explained to her that she could call me at any time if she needed to speak with me. All right, and on that note, we're going to stop because my throat is starting to hurt. So that was a bunch of the supplemental reports and the first interview with Stephen and Jennifer and the reporting of Madeline as missing that Monday night. Tomorrow, what's tomorrow? Tuesday? Yeah, tomorrow at noon, I'll be back and we'll pick up at the second interview of Stephen Stearns. I will definitely tomorrow at noon because I have absolutely nothing to do for a change. And I will see you all then.